morning, Seekers! Today is Wednesday, April 22nd, 2020, and we are ready to get started with another magical day of distance learning. I want to start off by talking about what a great job everybody did in our class science chat yesterday. It went wonderfully. I had about 10 of you guys show up for that. Well, actually, no, I think I had 13 of you guys show up for that. It was excellent. Just love having those science chats with you guys. We had so much fun talking about the structure of living things and the different types of skeletal adaptations that animals have to help them function and survive. So that was great. Loved that. Let's talk, well, before I move on to talk about what's coming up for the week with the class chat, if you missed yesterday's science chat at 10:30, what I've done in the video description and the Bloom's post, I have posted the link to where you can still go and watch the Generation Genius video we covered on the structure of living things. And I also provided you the link to go take the quiz that goes along with it. It's not the Kahoot, because the Kahoot is only designed to be played live, but there's a quiz that you can take on your own. So if you missed yesterday's video chat, be sure to go watch the video in the link and take the quick little quiz and just send me a picture of your quiz results. And that way I can still give you credit for that science grade, even if you weren't able to make it to our team's chat for whatever reason yesterday. And you'll still get credit for it that way. So links in the description for that if you missed our chat yesterday. Let's talk about the other chats we have coming up this week. So yesterday we did our science chat at 10:30 and we had a Miss Smith chat at 2:30. There is no chat today. We originally had one scheduled for today, but that got moved to Friday. Your next chat sessions will be tomorrow morning, Thursday at 10:30 a.m. We're gonna be talking about social studies. You're not gonna wanna miss that, trust me. I have a really fun video to show you guys. I think you're gonna be enjoying it. And also tomorrow afternoon, Miss Smith is gonna be available during her usual time block from 2:30 to 3:30 for any help that you guys may need. And then on Friday, for anyone who wants to join us at 1:30, we're gonna have a book chat and a little library lesson with Miss Evans, because she's able to join us on Friday at 1:30. And we can't wait to see Miss Evans and hear what she's been up to lately while she's been at home in isolation with her adorable family, Molly and Cotton and her husband. I'm sure they're having a great time, so we can't wait to catch up with them. So that's the remainder of your class chat schedule for the week. So that way everybody's on the same page and knows what's going on. All right, I've got some kudos to give out. So as of end of school day yesterday, these 5 people are the only 5 out of all 22 of my seekers, well, I guess we're 21 of you now, who turned in all 3 of their poems. So that was your acrostic, your bio poem, and your Diamante poem. They turned in all 3 poems, and they sent me their journals, all of their journals that they had done so far. Only 5 people have sent me poems and journals, and those 5 are number 2, great job, number 6, number 7, no surprise there, number 7, he is on top of it, number 15, and number 19. Great job, you 5. You are really rocking it out. You're staying on top of it. I'm not having to bug you to get you to send me those things. Keep that up. Great work. If I didn't call your number and you're not sure why, reach out to me, let me know, and I'll tell you what I don't have from you. Or maybe I made a mistake and maybe you did send it to me and I just didn't record it. So if you think you got it to me and I didn't call your number, reach out to me today. If I didn't call your number and you know why, go ahead and get that taken care of. You can send me that stuff anytime and still get credit for it, okay? All right, I also want to give a shout out before we move on to number 18, because she snuck up in the final hour, I think in the very last question or two, and she won first place in our class science Kahoot yesterday. So great job, number 18, super proud of you. So glad that you joined us for that. You really surprised us by sneaking in there in the end. Love it, love a good upset. Maybe the people you bumped out of first and second place didn't love it so much, but hey, it's all just for fun. It's just for fun, guys, so don't worry there. Okay, let's talk about our creature of the day. Now, before we talk about our creature of the day, remember back to yesterday. Yesterday we did the salamander. And while I showed you the pictures of the salamander, I said, well, don't worry about that little guy right there. He's not actually a salamander, but I'm gonna talk about him later. That wasn't an entirely true statement. He was a type of salamander. What I meant, but I was kind of rushing through the video, he's not a typical salamander. He's not the typical type of salamander that you see on land. Because, and we're gonna talk about him today because he's our today's creature, the axolotl Funny name, right? Axolotl. It's an Aztec word. The axolotl is an aquatic salamander. So what that means for the axolotl is most salamanders, they live part of their time in water and part of their time in land. Well, this particular type of creature, the axolotl, never develops its lungs to where it can live on land. It keeps its little external gills, the things that kind of make it look like he's wearing a funny party hat. They don't outgrow those typically. Some do, and it turns out that they actually don't live as long. But for the most part, the axolotl, the water salamander, he keeps those little frilly external gills, and that's what gives them this really cool look. And of course, they're known for their very adorable smiles. Now, these guys are very close to being extinct. There's very few left. I know people do keep them as pets, but we know that's not always the most ideal situation to keep an animal from the wild as a pet. But I know lots of people do keep these guys as pets. The video today, though, is going to talk to you about the wild axolotls and the area where they're from and all of the really cool adaptations that they have. So I hope you enjoy that. They're adorable. If you want to look up some more YouTube videos on these guys of them smiling. They're not really smiling. They're mostly yawning and just opening their mouths. But you want to talk about precious? These little guys are precious. So cute. So axolotl today, because I wanted to make sure that I clarified that yes, they are a salamander. They're just not a land salamander. They're an aquatic or a water salamander. So cool. Love that interesting adaptation they've got. All right, I think that's it for our creature. Let's talk about our packet for today. It is a no packet ELA day, so that just means you have your usual simple things to do. You're gonna read for 20 minutes. You're gonna do your 30 minutes of your reading intervention, and you're gonna listen to the Harry Potter link that I'm gonna post later. We are up to chapter 9 today. Chapter 8 was yesterday, so we're all the way on chapter 9. So be sure to stay up to date on that. Now for your math. You don't have a ton to do in math today. It's been a lot like your most recent math days. You have one page to take care of and a math question of the day to answer. So I'm going to go over tips and tricks for both of those things for you really quick so that you are fully prepared to tackle your math. So the first thing you have to do is a page titled Using Estimation and Area Models to Divide, and that is page 12. So let me show you what page 12 looks like. Page 12 is this side over here. Now page 12 has some directions that you may be a little confused on. So let me break this down for you. What they want you to do, they want you to look at the division problem. Then they want you to look at the answer that this pretend student gave. So for this first example, the division problem was 116 divided by 12, and this fake student gave an answer of 48. And what they ask you to do first is they ask you to take the quotient, 48, and multiply it by the divisor, which is the second number here, the smaller number, and see if when you multiply them, does it equal the dividend? If it does, then you're done and you don't have to do anything else. If it does not, so for example, when they did that for this example problem here, when they multiplied 12 times the answer of 48, they actually did not get 516, which is what they would have gotten if 48 would have been correct, but 48 was not correct. So instead, when they did 12 times 48, they got 576 instead of 516. So that should tell you, when you check with multiplication, that the division answer was wrong. So they had to mark it out and then find the correct answer. So let me actually work through that entire process with you up here real quick, just because I know just looking at the example, it might get a little confusing. So what they did is you got a division problem, just like you have across that entire paper. You got a division problem and they gave you a student answer. So the first thing you do is you take this number here and you take the quotient and you're gonna multiply them to check. So let's do that. That's that turtle math. 2 times 8, I know, is 16. Here's my 6, bring up my 1. 2 times 4 is 8, plus 1 is 9. I drop my turtle egg. I'm done with this number. 1 times 8 is 8. 1 times 4 is 4. 6 plus 0 is 6. 9 plus 8 is 17. Carry my 1. 4 plus 1 is 5. I get an answer of 576. Well, that does not match. So I know that this answer is wrong. So on the paper, I'm gonna mark it out. And that means now I have to solve the division problem to figure out what the actual correct answer is. So I've got to divide 12 into 516. So 516 is my dividend, 12 is my divisor. I have to ask myself, can 12 go into 5? No, of course not. Can 12 go into 51? Yes, it sure can. I know my 12 fact families. I know that 12 times 4 is 48. So I know that 12 can go into 51 4 times. 4 times 12 is 48. I'm going to subtract. I have to make that an 11. I have to make that a 4. 11 minus 8 is 3. 4 minus 4 leaves me nothing. And I bring down my 6. Then I have to ask myself, how many times can 12 go into 36? I know my 12 facts, so I know straight away that 12 can go into 36 3 times. 3 times 12 is exactly 36. And I have nothing left over. So I know that my correct answer is actually 43. So over here where I marked out my 48, I'm going to write the correct answer, 43. You can circle it, make it sparkle, whatever you need to do to show that you know how to get the correct answer. So looking back at your sheet, what you'll do that for each one. You're gonna come, I just worked the first one with you, so you don't have to do that one. But the next thing you'll do is you're gonna look at 837 divided by 31. Well, they gave you an answer of 27. So you're gonna multiply 27 times 31. If you get 837, you're done. You don't have to do anything else. If you don't get 837, you've got to scratch this out, scratch out the 27, do your division, and write what the correct answer is instead. So you're gonna work through that. You probably wanna do the actual work on scratch paper and just put your answers on here, and you're gonna solve that. The other thing you're going to do is you're gonna solve the math question of the day. And I'm gonna read that full thing to you, and then I'm gonna talk to you about what it means. Your math question of the day says, the average fully grown Alaskan Husky weighs 70 pounds. How many ounces does the average Alaskan Husky weigh? Use your reference sheet if you need help. And of course, on your packet, it says to record your answer on your loose leaf, but you guys know now that that's not what I want you to do. I want you to record it on the bottom of your page 12 that you did before this. So let's recap. What does that question of the day mean? Average Husky is 70 pounds. How many ounces does that equal? Well, if you look at your little cheat sheet I made for you here, 1 pound is 16 ounces. I can go from 1 pound to 16 ounces by multiplying 1 times 16. I need to know how many ounces 70 pounds is. So in order to do that, I just have to do some simple turtle math. You can see this below my sleeping puppy here. Oh, now you're awake? Now you're awake that I've disturbed you? I'm so sorry. But you can see that all you have to do to solve this is to do 70 times 16 to get your answer. And that will be how many ounces is in 70 pounds, because there are 16 ounces in every 1 pound. So you're gonna get that answer, and you're gonna write that answer on the bottom of page 12, and you're gonna send me this whole page so I can see that you've done this page, and I can see that you've got your answer to the math problem of the day. You don't have to do this thing down here, this number 1. You can scratch that out and just put me the answer to your math question of the day here, take a picture, and send it to me. If you've been sending me your math every day that you have math packet work, good job, keep it up. If you haven't been sending me your math pages, remember, you're supposed to send me those each day after you do them. You write your math question of the day answer on the bottom of the page, and then you send it to me. All right, so that is how you're gonna tackle your math today. Your daily challenge goes along with our Generation Genius video from yesterday, or if you didn't get a chance to watch it yesterday, whenever you watch it today, I want you to try to create a paper airplane design just like Zoe did. I've included a link in the description with a couple of different design options you can do for paper airplanes, or you can research and create your own, do different trials, do different experiments, just like Lester and Zoe. So see if you can come up with your own paper airplane. If you do something cool, if you get a good design, take a picture, send me a video, one or the other, send it my way, and I will give you a grade for a real life science project. I would love to get that to you guys. All right, everyone. I think that's it. I think you are gonna handle this no problem, But, you know, if you need me, if you get stuck, you know what to do. I will tell you guys, I have a meeting with the other teachers until 9 this morning, from 8 till 9. So I won't be available to help you out until after 9. But anytime after 9 today, from 9 until 2:30, if you need me, just give me a shout, guys. I'll be in Teams waiting to help you out, okay? All right, I'm off. I'm gonna go get some Harry Potter read and get the day going. Oh, before I forget, we are still waiting on an update. We have our baby seeker waiting anxiously to hear news to find out if our baby seeker has been born yet, Miss Fee's grandbaby. So hopefully by the time I'm filming tomorrow morning's video, hopefully I'll have some pictures of our newest seeker grandbaby Fee, to share with you guys. So be thinking about Miss Fee and her family today as they experience their first grandbaby coming into the world. Miss Fee, we're all thinking of you. We can't wait to see pictures of that precious little darling. All right, guys, Dobby's getting a little anxious, so let me go ahead and sign off. I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you get some sun. I hope you're kind to somebody. But more than anything, throughout your day, I hope you remember you can do anything because you are made of stardust. Bye, guys. We'll talk soon.